are plenty of goals in our last action today. It's as good as any that came out of the First Division yesterday, I fancy, and certainly as controversial. It was between Birmingham City and Derby County at St Andrews, a match that was covered by ATV, where the commentator is Hugh Johns. Birmingham are in the dark shirts.
Burns up, and Francis trying it. He went solidly in then. It was Nish who got his boot in the way. Francis. He's away from him. Oh yes! Beautifully done! Bob Hatton! 1-0. 28 minutes into this first half, and Bob Hatton has got the goal, but Trevor Francis was coolness itself. Derby paid the penalty for not getting the ball away. Francis looked as though he might be on for a shot, but selflessly just knocked it in perfectly for Hatton to score the goal. Kendall. Archie Gemmell away. Campbell brings it down. Not a bad ball out for Kendall. And again the cross, far post, Bolton up, and it falls for Burns, and then Campbell. Corner as the ball comes away off Campbell. Skids off a defender. Colin Bolton soon all right. He's a hard man, this. He's only missed 2 games, and those were through suspension in the last 3.5 years. Newton gets it away. That's handball. That's handball by Roger Davis. Well, what a foolish young man. There was no need for that at all. Roger Davis pulling the ball down with his hand. Francis against Bolton. 2-0. 19 minutes into the second half. Trevor Francis scores his 2nd penalty of the season. His 5th goal of the season. And Birmingham here are 2-0 ahead. Ken Burns. Styles. Francis, and he's clear. He ran well. He could be in for number 3. And the penalty's given against Daniel. The penalty's given against Daniel. Well, I must be honest, I didn't really think that rated it. Referee Nippard, adamant. Todd, incensed. Gemmell is over there as well. And the ball goes onto the spot now. So, Francis, his chance for a 2nd penalty of the afternoon. He's done Bolton once, can he do it again? Yes! Francis, his 2nd goal, Birmingham's 3rd. Webster now for Derby. Davis on for Hector, and it's Rioch. The goal is given, and Rioch makes it 3-1. Latchford did well to come out and block the first shot, but as the ball goes up off his boot, Rioch, the easiest job in the world to knock it in. Davis, Gallagher right behind him, good skills. Gemmell. He delayed it. Gemmell again. Davis. Davis. And he got it. Roger Davis makes it 3-2. That ball almost glued to his foot. It was the way little Archie Gemmell fought for the ball. Knocked it through. The ball seemed to be tied to Roger Davis's boot as he charged forward and squeezes it inside the near post.
Well, what a fine game it turned out to be then at St Andrews for all those Birmingham City fans. Birmingham now showing something of a recovery. 5 goals, and amongst them 2 penalties. And I think we ought to look just a little closer at the reasons why those 2 penalties were given. The first one, of course, was handball by Roger Davis, which looked so obvious in normal speed. A little less obvious now when we see it in slow motion. But I think the ball brushes against Roger's hand there. Probably slides down his arm, but indicates how dangerous it is for anybody to have their arms in the air in their own penalty area. But that was a penalty, and quite rightly given by Derek Nippard, the referee from Bournemouth. A little less obvious, I think, is this second one there, as Trevor Francis times that run superbly. Peter Daniels now, the Derby defender. Does he play the ball first or does he play the man? I think he just nicks that ball away, and Trevor Francis makes a pretty good effort of a dive there. And I think that is a penalty that is much more questionable. I think I would agree with Hugh Johns, our commentator who was on the spot there, and say that Birmingham were just a little bit fortunate to get that one. But of course, refereeing and penalties and everything else in football is all a matter of opinion, and it's the referee's opinion that counts, and Derek Nippard is a good referee. And of course, referees don't have the value of slow motion that we have. Well, next we move on to another game that had more than its share of excitement. Birmingham City beginning to look one of the league's most dangerous sides, even without Trevor Francis, and Manchester City, who started off the day at the top of the First Division. So it's Birmingham against Manchester City, a match that was covered by ATV. The commentator is Hugh Johns. Birmingham are in the white shorts.
Burns again, a good nick on. Handball. That's a bookable offence. That is a bookable offence by Colin Barrett. Positively, deliberately handled the ball to prevent the attack building up, and Yori Jones, the referee, was almost in two minds whether to give the free kick or not. Anyway, there's a very, very big wall who are not 10 yards from the ball. As Styles tries the shot, he goes straight into the wall. Page, Birmingham trying to get onside, and they're all right. Yes, and Kendall scores it. Kendall scores it. 1-0. It was Archie Styles who made it. Howard Kendall. His second goal of the season. 1-0 Birmingham City. Manchester City trying to play Birmingham offside. They couldn't get out quite quickly enough. The ball dropped to Styles. He tried one. And Kendall, the easiest chance to knock it in eventually. Free kick then. Archie Styles up to take it. Burns getting in there. Yes! Hatton the scorer. Bob Hatton, 2-0. A very simple set-piece move, executed with alarming ferocity by Birmingham. Styles kick, and Burns absolutely magnificent on the far post. Might have scored himself. The ball was beating the far post, and Hatton made sure. 2-0. Some of you really struck that one firmly. Burns, good knock on. That's Hatton. He's in for his 100th league goal. There it is. Hatton. Goal number 3 this afternoon for Birmingham. Goal number 2 for Hatton. And Hatton's 100th goal in league football. And again it was Burns, the little nick on. Hatton keeping his cool, straight in there to score a beautiful second goal for himself and a third for Birmingham. Taylor brought down from behind. Willie Donaghy. So a free kick, a couple of yards outside the box, just about level with the penalty spot. Martin with the ball in his hands, but Taylor looking as though he's wanting to have a dig at this. Taylor now as Burns comes in, and a beautiful goal! What a smashing goal! And how well this kid deserves it. That one planted across by Taylor, and Burns bursts through a flimsy defence. A firm header. Goal number 4.
Birmingham really on the rampage, and Spurs have to contend with them next week at White Hart Lane. And that was a defeat that toppled Manchester City from the top where Ipswich now stand, and gave a warning, I'm sure, to everybody, as I say, of the advance of Birmingham City. second match today also takes us now into the Midlands, where Aston Villa have started so well and where a 50,000 crowd had now squeezed in for their local derby game against Birmingham City. A really great atmosphere, of course, at Villa Park, captured by the ATV cameras. The commentator's Hugh Johns. Aston Villa are in the dark shirts.
Against a chance to run it. It was the first time he's really had a go. And a good cross in. And terrible miss kick then by Chris Nicholl. Well, that's the first time that John Connell has really been able to face up to his fullback. Didn't really try to take him on, but it was a wicked cross in. It had Nicholl in all kinds of trouble. Over the bar for the corner, but it could have gone in the corner, in the net. There's the corner. Phillips out. And Little now for Villa. Taking on and leaving Kendall for dead. This is a good break by Little. Now Page comes back. Got to get that cross in. Oh! Bethel and Gray scores! Oh, that is tragedy. Total tragedy for Birmingham City. Total joy for Andy Gray. An absolute gift. The whole thing starting with a wonderful run down by Little. The cross in didn't really seem all that dangerous. Hibbett decided, foolishly as it turns out, to try and give it back to his goalkeeper. And there was goal ace Gray to knock in his 7th goal of the season. Well, that's a good ball forward. Want knocks it away again there. It'll come down for Francis with Phillips behind him. Hibbett. Curling pass there for Francis to run onto. Beautifully done. Little chip down, and Burns gets the equaliser. Kenny Burns goes to the Villa end, and it's 1-1. Well, that is the Birmingham City fans delighted now. That was a nice bit of football by Birmingham. The ball from Hibbett, a beauty down for Francis. He checked, turned, cut it across the box, and Nicholl missed his clearance, and Burns promptly punishes him for his mistake. Tony Want cuts it out. Connolly trying to stick it through Gidman's legs, and it didn't work. Mortimer, Gidman. Styles backpedaling as Graydon attacks him, might get a corner out of it. Oh, he's got the ball. That's better still. He's got a shot on, surely. Graydon trying to get there again. Who's got the ball? Want hadn't got it, Burridge hadn't got it, Graydon hadn't got it. Hearts in the mouths of the Birmingham supporters then. Some of this tackling really is getting very hearty. John Goodman with the throw-in. Great. Hibbett at his back, so he uses Phillips. Little. Graydon. Super save. Super save. Lovely, sharp, beautiful, attractive football. One ball in Phillips. Little straight off to Graydon. The whack. Latchford covering his near post. Great save. Smith now. This is Robson. And Gallagher's jump and punched head out. Gidman. Birmingham brought everybody back. Page down for Jones. And Kendall knocks it early. Francis, Kendall, Connolly. Good skills. What a hurry though. Carradis is coming back at him. And Connolly keeps going against. And he scores a beautiful goal. Connolly, his first goal for his new club in only his 2nd game for them. And he won that goal to put Birmingham City in front 2-1 to enliven those fans from St Andrews here at Villa Park. Connolly won that goal for himself by sheer determination. Went away from one tackle, went away from another. Didn't look to have anything on for him. The left foot went, and it's 2-1.
And Birmingham won that game 2-1, all those goals coming in the first half. All right, now let's stand by for another of those games when you wonder when the goals are going to stop coming. Last week, for example, we were able to bring you a pretty sensational game when Ipswich and Sunderland drew 3-3. Well, all I can tell you is that Birmingham and Nottingham Forest, even without Trevor Francis, well, they more than matched that this time. The pictures are from ATV, and our commentator, as usual, up there is Hugh Johns.
Well, Birmingham City are a much changed outfit from last season, and they've been playing a lot better than 1 point from 2 games would seem to indicate. Doubts about the fitness of Kevin Dillon have been resolved, so the Blues of Birmingham are unchanged from the side which drew 1-1 here against Ipswich in the week. Some Birmingham fans will feel disappointed. They won't be seeing one of their old favourites in the Forest side, but Trevor Francis's move to Main Road and Peter Ward's loss of form means a recall for Ian Wallace and Gary Mills. Referee Eric Reid of Bristol gets us away. The blue shirts and white shorts of Birmingham City, they're attacking the goal away to our right. The red shirts with the slight white stripe in it of Nottingham Forest, attacking now as Ian Wallace goes after this one, and Mark Dennis sprinted there to get in front. Colin Todd and now Dave Langan looking for Bud Brocken, who gets his first touch. It was a challenge from behind by Gray in the back. That's Dennis for Tony Van Mierlo. Easy clearance then for McGovern. Here's Wallace as Fashanu makes the breakaway to his right. As Fashanu, the touch on again, in here for Gray, and it's still there for Wallace, and he scored it. 1-0 Forest. Inside a minute. Well, if Ian Wallace wanted it off the ground in fine fashion, he couldn't have done it any better. Wallace started it, the ball off to Fashanu. The return ball, in fact, missed out Wallace and went to Mills. He missed his shot, but it turned out to be a beautiful pass for Wallace, and he buries the shot, his first goal of the season. Archie Gemmill. Wee Archie, a man they say was never totally replaced when he was let go, and it was a fine shot from Archie Gemmill. Oh, now that really would have been a cracking goal if Archie had put that one away against his old club. As they've often said that Brian Clough never has really replaced Archie Gemmill in his side, and look at that for a shot. That had Shilton really stretching. Brocken for Dillon. Dennis is the ball on. And by that time, Anderson had spotted him, and actually that was a pretty fierce challenge that Viv Anderson put on the young fullback. And it looks to me as though referee Reid is doing a booking job there. Yes, there's the light. Referee's book is out, and we can see the challenge from Anderson. He spotted the danger, and his boot really was alarmingly high. Archie Gemmill waits for a moment to make sure that the fullback's all right. So there's the free kick. It's forward to Tony Evans. Dennis hooking it across the face of the goals, and it's a fine goal in from Broadhurst. It's 1-1. Kevin Broadhurst. That's only the 5th goal he's ever scored in a league match. But he buried that, and it was so fitting that the man who'd been injured, Mark Dennis, should set it up. There's the pass out to him, a first-time ball across. Nobody really got hold of Broadhurst, and Shilton is left stranded by the power of that shot. Dummy from Gemmill, so the ball is with Langan. Back to Brocken. Chip in, Evans knocks it down to Dillon. That's wide for Dennis. It'll drop for Watmore, got there, Evans! Fine goal! Beautiful stuff! Oh, nothing wrong with that at all. 2-1 Birmingham City. Tony Evans. Oh, yes. That's as good a goal as you're likely to see this season for brilliant opportunism. That ball coming in from Dennis. Now look at the way Watmore gets up, and the anticipation of Evans. One touch, pokes it away. Beautiful little goal. 2-1 Birmingham City. And that's what, 35, 37 minutes gone. 2 to beat. Goes immediately for Mills. Looks good. And what a reaction save that was from Wallace by Whelans. Good gracious me. But that was a superb reaction save by Whelans from Wallace. Because in fact the ball from Mills across the goal just actually hit Wallace. Whelan's reactions were superb. So we're in the second minute of stoppage time. There's McGovern now. Had a couple of lengthy hold-ups, I suppose, particularly for the injury to Mark Dennis. There's McGovern for Mills. Ball in to Wallace, and he's got there. How did he squeeze that in? Well, it's 2-2, and Ian Wallace has scored his second goal of the afternoon. What a return to the Forest first team for Ian Wallace. But how on earth did he get that ball in against the challenge of Broadhurst? It didn't seem possible. Here's the build-up to it. There's the cross in. Now, Broadhurst seemed to have it covered, but Wallace was there first, and Whelans is stranded. Rolling ball, free kick by Dennis, but he picks up Langan, stab off to Brocken, and there goes Langan again. That's a foul and a penalty. Oh, well. That was a very dramatic gesture by referee Reid. I've seen obstruction given for that, but there was referee Reid. Boom. Says that is a challenge which deserves a penalty. Referee Reid walks away as Archie Gemmell gets ready to score his first goal of the season. And he's missed it, but he's got the rebound. But well, the kick has got to be taken again. I suspect that one of the attacking side had an infringement there, or maybe Shilton moved. Well, he's got it. Well, wouldn't you know it? Twice taken penalty drama repeated from last Saturday when Jeff Whelans was the hero for Birmingham City, twice saving a penalty by Asa Hartford. Now Peter Shilton has twice saved a penalty here this afternoon against this man Archie Gemmell. Tony Van Meulen. He's still there. Ball stabbed a little too far, I think, although Dillon tried to make something of it. Oh, and Gemmell has a chance now for Brocken. And Watmore has scored. Watmore has opened his account. And Birmingham City are in front, 3-2. And Forest are furious because they reckon that a free kick for a foul should have been given just before that. Now there's the man down. Play is allowed to go on. Gemmell lays it off to Brocken. This is an inch-perfect pass, and Watmore does the business. That's McGovern. Gray. Now Bryn Gunn. Robertson. And Robertson getting a return pass from Wallace, and now Fashanu. He can turn something in here. Anderson. And that's Wallace, and he's got his hat-trick. And it's 3-3. Well, Ian Wallace is the most satisfied man in a Forest jersey this afternoon. The work of Fashanu played its part here, and Anderson joined in as well. And they didn't really pin down on Ian Wallace when they should have done, and he squirts it in underneath Whelans. And it's 3-3, and Ian Wallace has got all three for Nottingham Forest. And Brocken. Evans calling for it, far post. In fact, the ball knocked back to Todd. Now Dillon. Van Mierlo. High hanging ball, aimed for Brocken. Didn't get there. Forrest come again through Robertson. It's Fashanu. Once again, the challenge of Todd is the one he's got to worry about. So he lays it off to Robertson. Robertson attacking Langan. There's Mills. Robertson goes again. The ball for Wallace. Well, that was as close as a toucher to being number 4. Ian Wallace. Curling cross ball. Horse got a touch. Only as far as Brocken. See if he can deliver something powerful. Taking on Gray now. Oh, he's a bit lucky. And Watmore couldn't get there. Here's Dillon. And the shot on. Oh no, Broadhurst didn't try it. It'll come for Dennis. They're lining up to get at this. And Watmore is there with the winner. Yes, it's 4-3 certainly. It may not be the winner because there's still time left. But Watmore really buried that one, and Jim Smith was up out of the bench like a shot, cheering the man that he has recently paid £350,000 for. Long curved ball, and when it dropped down, you knew Watmore was going to score.
And in case you lost count, 4-3 was the final score to Birmingham, with Neil Watmore's winning goal coming just 6 minutes from the end. Some game that and some finish.